Welcome, everybody, to my podcast here. We have thousands and thousands of viewers excited about our new guest here today. We've had a couple successful interviews, and everybody's been waiting to hear from you, Bill. So, first of all, thank you for joining us here today on our podcast. Um, we want to get some insight onto the season so far and see how things are going. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are
Good.
you?
Good, good. Thank you, Bill. Looks like you're busy driving somewhere.
Always. No, I finally arrived here at a football practice.
Oh, you got practice?
Yeah, my little one.
Oh man, see what a
Coming up,
joy.
man.
This
Round
guy
two.
this guy is so busy. Thank you for taking the time off and joining us here today. So, well, let's get started. So, Bill, you're the manager of Williams' wonderful team. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but your team's not doing so wonderful today. You're one and
It's
five.
it's 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 a wonderful team. I just got to confirm, it's still wonderful.
Well, the numbers don't say it's wonderful, but I will say, despite the fact that you're one and five through this week, you're coming up against a tough opponent. When I look at the points, if we were to rank teams just by points, you wouldn't be sitting at 11th place. You'd probably be somewhere around 8 or 9. And actually, you're not too far off in points from the number 4 team in the ranking. So, how do you feel about your team right now in week 7?
I still feel good about this team. There's just been a little couple of hiccups with certain players that have cost. I'm pretty sure it's cost other managers the same situation with injuries throughout this season. Um, but hey, we just got to continue playing and see what plays out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of injuries, I know you had some trades, and there was one trade that was controversial in the league early on, but I actually think it was pretty good because it got more managers to trade. You traded some players away with Andy. I think you traded away Derrick Henry and Stafford, and Derrick Henry hasn't been doing so good. He's been on and off the last 4 weeks, and then Stafford has also underperformed. Some people think Andy took advantage of you. What do you say to that?
I don't think those no one taking advantage of anybody. I still think it was a fair trade. Derrick Henry obviously is not the same Derrick Henry as everyone thinks he was in his prime. I think Derrick, perfect example was after the trade. I think Derrick Henry only had 2 points, and then the following week he had probably 18, and then last week he only once again probably had like around 9 points. So he's inconsistent. Same thing with Smith. I traded Smith as well. Hey, last week Smith only probably got him 1 or 2 points. Um, Again, it all goes down with players being inconsistent this year, from what I see.
Yeah, I mean that's valuable insight, Bill. It looks like you do your homework on these guys. So people out there criticizing Bill, that's not correct. He knows his football. All right. Speaking of that, you have had a lot of trades. You've been very active on the trade acquisition. I think you've made like 17 different moves. I think you're only behind Andy, who's top of the list, like at 23 different moves. George is up there. What does that say about your initial draft? Did you have a good draft? Did you have a bad draft? Is it just part of the game? What is that?
No, it's part of the game. In the draft, I'm pretty sure you have, your first couple of rounds, you got your strong players, and then after that, your next round, you're just kind of weaving some of the weeds out. But these trades were conducted to try to balance the team as an overall, where you're not just strong in certain categories. So I'm trying to stay balanced. For perfect examples with these injuries, and you never know what players are going to perform week in, week out. Um, so that's I think it's all part of the game. It's a business. That's why we're called managers. You got to manage it.
That's right. Pay attention, George. So
Oh,
listen,
who's that guy?
George.
Yeah, who's that guy?
I think he's a very outspoken guy. We had him on the show last time. Uh, you heard some nonsense from the guy thinking he's El Guapo, which, by the way, do you know what that means? Because I think he was asking you if you know what that means.
I think it's ugly, right?
I think so. All right.
Yeah, I think I say Wapo is ugly. Yeah.
All right. So coming up, your next opponent is Anthony. He's the league commissioner. Um, he hasn't had a good time either these last few weeks. He was very confident the week before, and then now he's back to reality, trying to get back into it. You get a win this week. It puts you kind of right in the mix down at the bottom third, but it also puts Anthony down in the hole. What do you think about Anthony and his team?
I think he has a pretty good, solid team as well. I think his team is balanced. In all perspective, I think every team is pretty much balanced. It all depends on which manager is facing which manager at that week. You know, some are a little stronger, some are a little weaker, and then you got these buys coming up, which plays a big factor in fantasy. That's what it's all about.
That's true. That's very, very true. So speaking of a little bit more about Anthony and some of the other players, this looks like a tough matchup. He's projected to win, but you're not too far off. How do you feel about the game? Do you think you'll pull it off?
Hey, I can't call it, but I hope I pull it off. That's all I gotta say. I know he put his flex player that I was researching, and I was hoping he put that flex player on, and that flex player is going against Detroit, which hasn't allowed that many points on that position player. So hopefully that stays true, and I'm able to pull that win off. So we'll see.
Nice strategy. Okay. Well, listen, coming to the end of our interview here, we want to make sure you get you back to your son, to the football team. But I do have a couple more questions. I've been trying to get some interviews. A lot of people have been asking for you. So I'm glad we've got you on the show now and people will hear what you have to say. But there's one other character that has been avoiding me. That's Jerry. Why do you think he keeps avoiding me in these interviews?
I think we're in hibernation season. I really don't know. You know, during draft time he said he had a grade A, but everyone was skeptical about that. Obviously, he's doing pretty well, sitting in the number 2 spot. He might know something that we don't know. I think he's riding the wave now, but he's going to get washed out. So maybe that's why he's avoiding you. I'm not too sure. I can't answer that.
Yeah. Now,
does he look like El Feo?
well, that's my next question. So there's a little bit of controversy. George says he's the more handsome brother of the two. What do you think? Who's more handsome, George or Jerry?
I thought for a minute they were identical twins. They're just older. They're the same. I really can't answer that question. But you know, George always thought he was handsome, but I don't know. He needs to go. He needs to really look himself in the mirror.
All right. 2 more questions. So we have the brother against brother this week. Who do you think takes it, George or Jerry?
You got to go with the young pup, man.
The young pup.
Oh, a little stronger.
All right.
I think his team's a little stronger than what George is. I think George kind of hit a panic button too much. He made some trades and the players he dropped, other managers have picked up, and I think he's shooting himself in the foot on a few of those.
Oh damn!
But I don't think he pulls it off.
All right. Well, that's it.
George is relying on his quarterback for everything.
He is.
That's all he talks about. Yeah. Allen. That's why he was asking. I think Andy to trade him a quarterback, but George has nothing to offer.
He doesn't. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I think that's a poor manager.
That's a poor. All right. So another big matchup. Andy, who's undefeated right now at 6-0, versus SOG. What do you think about that matchup?
That's a good matchup. I think that's going to come down to the wire. I think both managers are playing very well, and that's something that's interesting to see how that one plays out this weekend.
All right.
I'm not gonna pick SOG, and I'm not gonna pick Andy. Hey, let the players decide that.
That's right. All right. All right, Mr. Bill, thank you for joining us on our telecast right here. Much appreciated. The fans wanted to hear from you. Now we got you on here. Really appreciate it. Tell us, what field are you out right now? Which of your sons is playing?
I got the younger one, Isaiah, 13U, West Covina Bruins. We're sitting right now at 8-0, won our first round playoffs. We got our second round this Saturday, 5 p.m., Bonita High School. Come check us out. We win that game. We're heading into the championship once again. Hopefully we just pull off this championship win this year.
Nice.
This team looks pretty decent and solid. Good group of kids. And I say a few of these kids have some bright futures in the high school. So look forward to that as well.
All right. Young future NFL players right here. Developing them.
I hope so.
Developing. All right, Bill. Well, do a good job. You're doing a good job helping those kids out, staying out of trouble, being healthy on the field, and getting them somewhere. So much appreciated. Thanks for you and the youth and everything. Thank you very much. Thanks, Bill. We'll see you.
No problem. One quick question.
Yes.
Why was everyone asking about my interview?
Well, everybody was wanting to know what's going on with Bill.
Hey, they're fearing the wonderful William, huh? All right.
There's a couple cats that, but not only the league, my fans. You know, I have thousands and thousands of fans on this podcast. You know, they want to hear from Bill.
Tell your fans to stay true. Wonderful things are gonna come.
Yes. All right, fight on.
No, go Irish. Take it easy.
All right, see you, Bill.
All right.
All right, thanks.